the way to think about the responsibilities of product management and the roles and the titles that you have. I'm sure you're familiar with lots of titles in the industry today, right? In India, we have very creative titles for product managers as well. Different companies are coming up with very innovative titles. So I won't usually talk about titles. I usually focus on role and responsibilities. And again, there are many, many ways to do it, but I wanted to bring in a slightly different way of understanding it. Initially proposed by one of my friend, Jason Shen, who's a product leader. And the way that to look at this is, you have an x-axis and you have a y-axis. The x-axis talks about, on the left side, tree, right? A tree and a forest. A tree essentially is you are zooming in, you are detail focused, detail oriented, and diligent around it. A forest is something, a big picture view, right? So you look at from afar, there are so many trees around it, you get a full view of what that place is like and what might contain inside that. On the y-axis, on the top, you see it's a logical thinking mind, logical thinking brain, decision making, right? Very, very specific, data driven, data informed, metrics driven, all of that part of it. And the bottom of it is heart. This is where you see a lot of empathy, a lot of understanding of customer emotions and all of that, right? So if you have a grid like this, a quadrant like this, there are 4 different personas, if you will, of a product managers, right? I call them analyst, organizer, explorer, and advocate. Now, analyst is somebody who is very detail oriented and looking for data to make informed decisions. Often they are working very closely with the development team, with the customer support team, identifying the problems, making sure that they are fixed, testing them, focusing on the details part of it, right? And then you have the organizer persona, which is working with lots of team members. Now you need to understand where each of the team member is coming from. There could be design, there could be marketing, there could be development and all of that, and bringing that empathy into it, but still very, very focused on that particular feature or that particular product or release, right? Now you start looking at the other side, which is big picture, but bringing in a lot more emotions and customer understanding and customer empathy. These are the people who actually are very strong listeners, fantastic communicators. These are the people who will motivate the team members, organization leaders, right? These are typical leaders that you see, product leaders in large organizations. And then finally, explorer. Explorer is often outbound focused. They are looking at market trends. How do we take our product and understand what is happening in the market, position our product appropriately so that it resonates, the message and the value resonates within the market. And of course, vice versa, bringing back those trends that you see, technology trends, market trends, consumer behavior trends, and coming back and saying, hey, this is what is going to happen, we believe, in the next 2 years. So how do we plan our roadmap? What is our strategy going to be, right? Those kind of conversations. Now, if you put titles to this particular personas, right, you will often see something like this. A product owner and product manager are focused primarily on the tactical decision making on specific things, very organized, but data informed, data driven decision making, logical thinking. Whereas as you move in your career to next levels, more of strategic thinking needs to come in, right? A lot more of looking ahead 1 year, 2 year, 3 years ahead, big picture, and bringing back. And of course, you have got to be an awesome storyteller, person who motivates the team members and all of that, right? So that's a way to think about. Again, I didn't want the traditional approach of here are the job responsibilities of a product owner or a product manager that you can get anywhere.